Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Internet Dads. I'm joined by Rory Jennings, Esquire.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you, mate. Are you well?
I'm good. I'm really good, actually.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm feeling top of the world.
Is there any particular reason for that?
Everything's just going as it should, which is a moment I think in our lives where you have to just go, do you know what? Everything is as it should be. Touch wood. The world is turning as it should.
I think that's a really important thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes in your brain, and not by you, I mean the general you, we think like it's really not that big a deal, it's a massive thing, and yet just stop and go, actually, people are healthy, hope touch wood, everything's all right.
Touch wood,
so,
everything is as it should be this week.
What's the Jennings vibe towards the incoming Halloween season?
Oh, we take it incredibly seriously.
As do we this year.
Incredibly seriously. Oh, we've been discussing Halloween for 6 months.
Is it Halloween bigger in the UK now than it was when we were kids, do you think?
Yes, it is.
I know it's huge in the States.
It is. I think our sense of occasion as a country, though, has elevated a touch.
I just don't really, it might be a me thing, but I don't really remember doing much for Halloween as a kid.
I actually weirdly remember once when I was quite young being in America for it and being blown away. I think we were in the States. Like I went to Disney World when I was a kid, and we were there for Halloween. And I remember just thinking, wow, this is totally incomparable to anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I think that, you see some houses done up, taken incredibly seriously. We're doing it. We're taking it really seriously.
Yeah, my oldest this year, he's always enjoyed it. Last year we went, there's like a big sort of street party on the main high street where we live. It's really good, actually, trick-or-treating, but loads of other stuff. And we went as, what did we go as last year? He went as the Tasmanian Devil.
That's a good one.
Which I think is quite, let's get a little onesie thing.
It's scary.
Al went as a witch, potentially, and I went as a vampire.
Oh, really?
But this year, I think we're all going as dragons, because he's obsessed with dragons.
Yeah.
But he wants to do the full house. So we've got like the big cobwebs, like fake cobwebs. We've got all these decorations in the house. He's loving it.
Yeah, I love it. I haven't done it this year, but I think if it continues in the trajectory that we're on, and if Pandora decides to embrace Halloween in the way that Clementine has done, I think I might get the professionals in.
Really? Like makeup artists and stuff?
No, not for me, Wally.
Right.
No, for the house. Like I get professionals in to do the house at Christmas.
Do you?
Yeah, not the interior, but I make the house quite sparkly outside. A homage to Kevin McAllister's house in Halloween, in Home Alone.
That's proper. I mean, I remember seeing something on TikTok or somewhere about some guy who's like, these like gurus are telling you how you can make loads of money. He's like, my business is I offer to put people's Christmas lights up at Christmas in America. And he's like, does the maths. So you do this amount a day over this many weeks, you make like 50 grand or whatever. Yeah. It's like, but his whole thing was based off charging like $800 or something to put all the decorations up. Like, is that what it cost you?
No, I can't remember. I did it last year and it worked. Yeah. Because basically, mate, I can't do anything.
No, I mean, if you're going up on the roof and
I can't do it. Yeah. It makes the house, like, honestly, my house is very modest, but it's the best it can be to be like the Home Alone house.
Because you've got that close you live on. Does
other people do it as well,
nice.
Exactly.
Well, you could share the cost potentially. You get one guy.
That's exactly what happens.
I like it. I like it.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of that. And what's your view on trick or treating? Is your house? What's your policy?
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome at my house. Yeah.
And you'll have treats ready.
Yeah, you'll get an abundance of sweets. It's an amazing concept, isn't it? If you think about it from a child's perspective, they get to knock on someone's door, demand sweets, be complimented for their outfit, and then do exactly the same thing on the house next door, and go again and again and again. For a kid, it's actually like the best possible bargain, isn't it?
Do we get much tricking these days? I feel like utter woke nonsense. We're just treating constantly.
Yeah, I would never risk it because I used to be terrible.
What sort of tricks are we talking?
Oh, we were awful. I remember, like, we were absolutely awful as kids. Like, we'd go around the flats where we lived, and we'd do terrible things. Like, there'd be eggs involved. We'd let people's car tires. It was awful. Like, I'm not proud of it at all. But you're young, aren't you? You kind of just go with the flow. But I remember there was a woman who lived sort of on the third floor.
It's so bad, man.
She just let the tyre down. Just sit. You push that bit.
They get off the drive, don't realise, bang, car crash.
No, it's horrific. We used to do terrible things. But it was in the flats where I lived, and I was young.
It wasn't just Halloween either.
It wasn't just Halloween. But no, we used to do that. But I don't. It would always be, by the way, if you didn't give us a treat. We would play the game fairly. We would play the game fairly. And I think it's your responsibility as an adult to try and And I suppose the problem is we weren't particularly young. We were about 14.
Yeah, and if you found
Yeah.
if
Demanding money as well rather than sweets.
Clementine comes back with like a half empty bucket of sweets, and you're like, "How'd you get on?" She's like, "I didn't get any sweets, but I let a couple of people's tires down." You'd be like, "What?"
Yeah. I know. So, but no, I love it. You do you like it, or do you do this under duress?
It's not something. I think it's one of the great examples of like when you get to live through your kids again, because it's not something that would have been on my radar at all. I've basically forgot Halloween existed as a concept, and then it comes up through things that he's doing at school or whatever, and he's suddenly like, "Let's do this." And then last year, when we did the whole Halloween trick or treat, I thought it was really fun.
See,
but I'm thinking
is
it's
why
fun
children
because,
are amazing.
exactly, because I'm having fun because of what I'm seeing in his eyes.
Do you know
what I
what?
mean?
The story that you've just told there, it's a tiny little parable of why having children is so rewarding and, for me, so important. Because you gain a new life. You see things in a different way. You see a totally new world. You're introduced to a totally new world that if you didn't have children, you would never be exposed to.
No, it's very true.
And it's a world of beauty and happiness and charm. It's like, that. You get to see Halloween. You get to embrace it. You get to dress up as a dragon. It's all for you.
Well, it's a reason, right, that those, not all of them, but these sort of festivities exist. And mostly it is for children, but it doesn't mean there isn't something to be gained as an adult. And I think it's possible to probably still get that enjoyment without having kids. It might be like through your nieces and nephews or through whatever. But I certainly think for the general person that is maybe, I don't want to, listen, people don't have to have kids, obviously. It's absolutely fine if that's your decision.
Yeah,
for
but
life.
you're a bit weird if you haven't got kids and then you start dressing up.
Oh, no, for Halloween, yeah, specifically. No, I mean like in life, nothing wrong if you don't have kids. But what I would say is if there is someone out there that's sort of like taking themselves very seriously, kind of living a very individualistic life, that idea of closing off all those things forever, you're never going to go through that again. I think you missed something.
No, I do as well. I do. And it's all of the other things that enhance your life. Like I'm looking at this purely through like a selfish lens. It makes my life better. Like I'm taking Clementine to this indoor ski slope in Hemel Hempstead. I'm going to have the best day ever.
Yeah.
Watching her learn to ski and we both fall over and we're kind of both like learning to ski together, really.
But if you went on your own, you would never do it.
I would.
No.
I wouldn't go.
No.
I wouldn't. We're doing this because not this year because we think Pandora's too young, but the following year. I really like the idea of going skiing.
Yeah.
I can't ski. I've been once, and I basically just got drunk in the après ski. It was turned into a rave. No, it was great fun, but I can't really do it. Whereas now this is
perfect because you can learn with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on the blue runs, the green runs, whatever it is.
Yeah, you're a skiing family.
Yeah, to be fair, I've done the least of my family. But
Alex? Is Alex a skier?
Yeah, Alex is
She's
as well.
good, yeah.
Yeah, we went in a family, but my brothers and my dad and that we used to go when we were kids. But my
Saunders
loves it.
it.
Saunders is unreal,
Yeah.
and Seb's decent. My dad's decent. But we did a really good family holiday, like maybe close to 10 years ago now, with like all our girlfriends. Everyone chipped in, and we got in one chalet together. And it's a lovely thing to do. It's obviously it's not cheap, but also it's probably the only time where I'd voluntarily go to the cold.
Yeah.
Because I usually, if I'm leaving the country now, I'm looking to get hotter, not colder.
Yeah.
But you're not cold when you're up there and you're skiing and you're going moving around. But I remember the one we went on, she wasn't a new skier, but she wasn't as experienced as us. And we were going on some certain runs. She's very competitive. She grew up with brothers. So she was like, yeah, I'll do it. And she just stacks it. Like, when you stack it on quite a steep run and you were just bouncing.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm
I hope
trying
you're
to get,
okay.
I know, it's like half funny, half like, oh my God, she's going to fall off the cliff.
I know.
But yeah, we've had a few runs on that. I had an equivalent thing a few years before that when I was quite new. And I had the exact same mentality. I was trying to keep up with my older brother and show him that I could do everything he could do. So I was going on like black runs, like maybe day 3 of skiing ever. And with no real skill set. So I'd just go down. I was like, I don't know how to, these moguls, I don't know what to do with them. So I'm just going to go down. And it was working for me for a while until you eventually crash, which you do. But I felt so bad, right? Because we were with this other family. I didn't really know him well, but it was my dad's mate and his kids, all like sort of teenager kids. And the first day of the holiday, I'm trying to keep up with Seb, just going straight down this mountain. And I lose control. I go through the back of this girl who is with us and just take her out completely. And she I don't know what she did, but she was out for the rest of the trip.
Oh, man.
Couldn't ski again the rest of the trip. And I was
You idiot.
I know. It wasn't intentional, obviously.
No,
but
it still makes you an idiot. Yeah.
Now I can ski. I would never
her out day 1 of a skiing holiday.
I would never do that now. It wasn't even like a choice. It was like...
I don't... See, do you know what I want to... I just want to be able to ski like a really good 8-year-old. I want to be that good. I always want to go, nice and gently, meander down.
Stop off in the pub.
Yeah, mate.
Lovely life.
Mate, I will be drinking many a hot toddy.
Yeah, no, it's a good. I mean, something I'd like to do with the kids. They're a bit young at the moment, I think, but in the future.
But it's just another example, isn't it, of how the kids enhance your life.
100%. Yeah, if you can get the opportunity to do it, but there's loads of ways you can experience that same joy. My oldest has now started 2 new sports. I think we mentioned one of them.
Yeah.
He's now doing rugby and kung fu.
Kung Fu is brilliant.
So he's getting. Yeah. Did I tell you about the park run he did as well? We did a whole 2-kilometer race as well. So he's been getting
So
really
he
busy.
ran 2K.
Yeah, he had a couple stops to walk. They didn't run the full 2K, but he's only 4. Do you know what I mean? He finished.
I
He
think
finished.
that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's way ahead of me. All those things he's ahead of me. He started football, rugby, kung fu, jiu-jitsu, running, everything years before I did.
2K is a good run for a 4-year-old.
Well,
Think about his little legs.
What I'm trying to do right now is really listen to him and like see where he's naturally pulled. So,
Yeah.
for example, he wanted to do kung fu because he's seen Kung Fu Panda. But I asked him after the first lesson, like, "Did you enjoy it?" And it's interesting what he said. He was like, "I kept getting things wrong because you're doing all these like moves." And he was like, "I put my legs in the wrong place," and I think he was a bit embarrassed by it. But then he, on his own, offered the information. He was like, "But the warm up, Daddy, we did this thing called dodgeball, and I loved it. I love dodgeball. It was so fun." He kept talking about dodgeball. And I was like, I should take him to a dodgeball class. That would be the natural. And that's the same reason we went into rugby and kung fu, because he naturally asked for it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think you just got to sometimes follow this little path.
Yeah, absolutely. Those games as well, so fun. Like, if you ever go to one of those trampoline parks.
Yes, exactly.
And they've got those balls about.
Yeah.
I spend my whole time like doing a David Beckham, like lining up free kicks, trying to like ping it at Clementine, and she's trying to keep out of the way of it. Yeah.
It's the only time where it's socially acceptable.
Yeah, I like absolutely bang it. You know that Ronaldo, where you like put the valve down and all that. Do a deep breath before you like ping it.
Oh my God. Did I ever tell you the story? One time I did that at school. We were on the tennis courts after school waiting for our bus. I might have told you this before. And, I'm like, not an amazing footballer at this point. And I'm not saying I am now, but you know what I mean? I was much worse. And there's this lad, year or two, maybe 2 years. I think I'm like year 10 or 11. So he's like year 8. It's like 3 or 4 years between us. He's on the other, he's a bit of like annoying kid. He's the other side of the tennis court, like 2 courts away, really far away. And I'm just like, I'm going to line up a free kick and just hit him. And it's like, no way I'm going to hit him, obviously. It's probably the most, in hindsight, probably the best connection of a football I've ever done in my life. So not thinking it would happen, launch it, hits him straight in the face. We're talking like 35 yards minimum. He's got glasses on. His glasses smash to the floor and smash. And I'm like, when you think it was a good idea until it actually hit him, and now I'm an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
So I go over to him like to apologise. I'm like, really sorry. I'm year 11, so I'm like 15, 16. He's like 12. I go over to him and I go, mate, I'm really sorry. And he's like this crying. And he looks up and he goes, boom.
Yeah, good for him.
Breaks my nose.
Good for him.
How embarrassing is that for me?
Really good for him.
Broke my nose.
That story ended exactly as I wanted it to.
It's karma. It's instant karma. But like...
That's amazing. It's like Cesc Fabregas kicking the ball at the ref at the Hawthorns. Or didn't Rotashaw have this with his mother?
Oh my God. That's a viral meme, isn't it? That's been used everywhere, that thing. But I don't know if that was I think it was... was it planned? Would his mum would voluntarily...
What, Rotashaw?
Put her face up for...
Of course it wasn't planned.
I don't think he was supposed to hit her.
No.
Yeah, he sort of did what I did. He thought, if I hit her, it's great content, but I probably won't.
But I obviously won't. And then it just absolutely... It was like blood in that.
I mean, if that was planned, then his mum deserves some serious plaudits.
I don't think it was planned because she was bleeding. You can't... no son, regardless of the value of the content, would accept making their mother bleed.
You never know, mate. People do crazy things.
Do you think?
Do you think Trump was really shot?
Yes, and you're not doing this. Yes, I do.
Oh, I'm not saying anything.
And we're
about
not
that.
doing this.
Going back to Halloween, though. Going back to Halloween, are you going to dress up? And if you were to, what would you go as?
I'll do what's best for my kid, but I won't. No, I won't. I'll take her.
You won't dress up?
No, we're not going to a party. We're going trick or treating.
If she wants to, what would you go as? You've got to pick a Halloween costume. What's your go-to? What would you... I think you could be a good, what's his name? Patrick Bateman, American Psycho. You sort of slick back hair.
Yeah, but you're not really dressing up as anything then.
Well, you got to get a blood-covered shirt. Yeah, it's basically your normal clothes.
Yeah. No, who's a good... Who would I look good as? So who's short? Shrek short.
Shrek.
Is he
he's
short?
big. He's massive.
He's big. Who's
be a donkey.
Be a donkey, yeah.
Is that scary? I guess Shrek is a bit scary.
I would do it. If we were going to a party, I would obviously dress up if somebody sort of made me.
I'd be quite interested in doing Scissorhands.
I find fancy dress a little bit.
Well, you think football shirts are fancy dress, so
yeah.
God knows what you think fancy dress is.
Do you know what I find all that stuff just a little bit weird. Like, do you know what I can't get on board with? Stag do.
Yeah.
But we're gonna make the stag dress up as Jerry Halliwell or whatever as a Spice Girl. Just like why? What? Who benefits from this? I think it's rubbish.
Well, I agree.
The stag's gonna hate it.
I agree. Like, if I'm thinking of a stag do for me, I'm thinking, what's the funnest thing I could do? Like, what can I do that is like ultimate fun with my pals? Like,
Go to a spa.
not like what
That'd be amazing.
do I not want to do?
Yeah,
Do you know
I know.
what I mean?
No,
What
no,
did you do for yours?
I went to, your brother was there. I went to Seville. I just had a booze up in Seville. Went to Seville versus some other Spanish side.
I mean, football game.
Just went to Seville, played football in Seville, watched football in Seville, and drunk as much as you could possibly drink in Seville.
Didn't have to get dressed up in anything silly.
No, they tried, and I
And you
sort
were
of
like,
played
guys,
along.
I'm already wearing something silly.
I played along for a bit. I played along here and there, but no, I don't. I just don't get it. I really don't. And the idea of doing it, like at an airport,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, we're so funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
you get on would you get on the
japes we
pints
have?
early doors in the airport?
I like drinking a lot, but I probably, it's one of those, isn't it? Look, we're going on holiday. We're not idiots. Like, we don't need to dress up. We don't need to have a pint at 6:41.
So it's a very British thing, that isn't it? I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I will
certainly-
drink plenty over the course of the holiday,
Yeah.
but call me old-fashioned, I'm going to have some porridge.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Porridge
I'm
at
with you.
6:41.
Exactly. And the other problem of it is that mostly stag do's, depending on where you go, especially if it's these like Eastern European countries where everything's cheap, have been the preserve of beer drinkers. If you're not
Yeah.
a beer drinker like me,
Yeah.
you go to some countries, you can't get a cider. What do
No,
you do?
no. You're right. You're right. You can't. See, I'm very happy. I'll drink what's on offer generally. Like, I have no issue. I'm very malleable when it comes to whatever drink is around. But I just don't get that. That fake fun. Oh, let's all have fun. Let's dress up.
Well, that's almost, not to get too preachy, but that's almost what alcohol is in a way, isn't it? It's like, oh, let's have alcohol. I mean, if you're doing it as a crutch, like not forever,
Yeah.
but like, oh, let's drink at 8 a.m. to make it fun at 8 a.m. when actually it's not supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be tired. Get yourself a nice magazine, read it on the plane.
Also,
and
do you
then
know,
have some fun.
particularly at this age, you don't need to be on that stag do flight, do you? Let's
Yeah.
fly from Terminal 5 at 2:30.
If you want to maximise time for your pals, no?
Yeah, go for an extra night.
we're so old, mate.
I know.
We're so old.
Yeah, I'm never doing that stag do flight. Do you know I did a work trip fairly recently, and they sent me through the flights. And do you know what they'd done? They put me on a Ryanair out of Luton at like 6 a.m. I went, are you fucking kidding? Obviously not. I'm Heathrow, preferably Terminal 5. In fact, almost non-negotiably Terminal 5. Nothing before midday.
You're like quite near there, aren't you? That's like quite
Yeah.
near.
But Heathrow is the London portal. You know what I mean? At Terminal 5, the London portal. Like, that's where I want to be. I know Terminal 5 like the back of my
They
hand.
know you're in the Pret.
Yeah, I'm in the Pret. I'm in the
basis.
plain food, Gordon Ramsay. I know exactly where I'm at. They've got a nice All Bar Brown shop. Buy a new pair of swimming trunks on the way. I'm not going to Ryanair at 6 a.m. Are you crazy?
I mean, it's sometimes that's the opposite.
No,
Depends
it's
if you're
never
lucky
the-
enough.
There's nowhere I want to go
Much
enough
cheaper.
to do that flight though. Literally,
You'd
no.
rather just not go.
Yeah, I'd rather not go. If it becomes that, if it's like, oh mate, we're gonna go away, the only thing we can do. In fact, do you know there was a trip that was going to happen? I really wanted to do to San Sebastian,
Mm-hmm.
but we had to fly to Biarritz, and the only way you could do that was from Stansted or something. I was like, I'm not going.
Nothing wrong with Stansted, mate.
I'm not going to Stansted ever for the rest of my life.
You're never going to Stansted.
Never.
That's
Never.
big.
I will only
comment.
use Heathrow for the rest of my life. Maybe
Wow.
Gatwick if you force me.
I feel like we should remember that quote, guys, because I feel
Yeah, it
like
will never happen.
someone's
The
got
last
to do
time-
some sort of
the-
deal,
well,
good
it
money
happened-
deal,
it happened
poker
once.
event. You got to fly from
It's
Stansted.
happened
You're going
once.
to Stansted.
The only
pal.
time it happened was when I went to Dortmund for England-Holland,
Yes.
and it was just impossible. So I had no choice but to use Stansted.
What
But
an-
a very specific situation,
You're an airport snob, mate. You know that.
aren't we all?
No. No one. I'm not saying anyone likes Stansted. And by the way, it's my local airport, so it's not go to
Muggy
Ireland.
airport.
But it's not everyone. Heathrow is expensive, pal. It's expensive airline.
What, are they different in price?
Of course they are. Ryanair, EasyJet, they're all coming out of Stansted, Luton, Gatwicks.
Yeah, but you
can't-
get cheap flights, BA.
You can, not as cheap as them.
You know, right?
No, I know.
I don't
for
think it's a
sure.
money thing.
No one wants to go Ryanair and EasyJet, pal.
I think people do.
No, they don't, mate. Right, if they do, it's to
think
save the
people
money.
do.
If they do, it's to save the money. When we came back from a family trip recently, it was like one of those nightmares. I can't remember which airline it was, but like, it's the worst case scenario. You got family, you got kids on there anyway, but then you're on the plane. It doesn't leave for like 3 hours. It's tarmacked. Nothing's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. It's hot. It's air conditioned. Everything's wrong in the world.
Yeah.
And we came off the back of that, and they were also like annoying with the pram and stuff. And we were like,
Never again.
we're never getting the airline
Never
again. Al goes away a month later. She gets it because it's the best times and the best price and the nearest airport.
Oh, I disagree. I'd rather go at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and get there late. But that's because I'm old.
Yeah, what I like about you, Rory, is you know what you like.
And I and I like what I know.
And you like what you know. So fair enough, mate. I've got a great chat for you here, mate. This is gonna be fodder.
Oh no.
Well, first of all, we've had a few chats about names on here, haven't we? Like baby names. Everyone's got an opinion, like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Mate, I met somebody who I vaguely know, and since I knew them, they've had another baby, a boy. I went, all right, who's this? I don't. The lady goes to me, this is Blake, and I went, goodbye. I was just out of there. Blake.
You're such a snob.
Blake, the boy, the first name Blake. I was just like, look,
but mate,
we now know. Look, you know when you meet people, you find those common denominators, don't you? You find something to bond over, whether that's football, whether it's a love of football, whether it's the same football team, whether it's a different sport, whether it's any kind of common ground. The second that you reveal to me that you have called your son Blake, we're just never ever going to bond. We're never going to be mates. I'm never going to like you.
What if they come from a long line of Blakes?
It's even worse.
Right, here's what I'll say. First of all, so I've got some previous on this because obviously I've got a whole business that's born around a football club with a dodgy name, right? And it's been a long time, people telling me the name's wrong, etc., etc. And in the same way that you have your little Blake rule, for me, if someone can't get their head around a football club called hashtag, it's a very good filter. I've got no issue with them. Not that I don't want to hang out with them, but I know they're never going to be a fan of our club if they can't get their head around why it potentially works. I feel like you have something similar. What I will say is like, because obviously you talk about your kids' names and I don't talk about my kids' names, and that's one of the reasons, to be honest, is mainly privacy, but also like everyone's got an opinion on this stuff. Like you get it. You get it when you talk about your kids' names. People go mad for it because everyone thinks they know better, and it's like anything in life, subjective. Whatever you think, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Call your kids that, but it doesn't mean it's objectively right.
No.
It's the same for everyone. So that's why I stop short of saying like, oh, you called your kid that. I'm not.
No, but just for me, you call your kid what you want. I wouldn't expect this person to care about my opinion. And I'm sure they don't like the way that I've gone. But I find those modern, cool names tricky.
I've got some names for you here because basically the reason I bring it up is that there's been a list of banned baby names in the UK. These names are now illegal.
In England?
They're illegal.
You're joking.
It's not surprising, mate, the way UK's going. You can't even burp at the moment without going to prison.
They've banned names. That can't be true.
They have banned these names. I'll tell you some of the names.
Okay.
They're too extreme, Rory.
Go on.
First name that's been banned. What I love about this is it means someone must have called their kid this for it to be banned. They can't just be going, let's ban this word. Someone's tried to call their kid this. So the first one I've got that's been banned is cyanide. Not cyan like colour. Yeah. Cyanide.
Yeah,
they're like the poison.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean,
that's illegal.
Probably shouldn't be illegal, but it was also a very weird thing. I don't agree with it being illegal. It's your child. You should be able to call it.
What do you think about the Elon Musk thing? I don't know if our producer can help us with the name, but he called he's got like 8 kids, didn't he? But one of his kids he called like X127.3 pi.
It's just insane.
Formula.
Just insane, isn't it? What have you got the name there?
Yeah, Elon Musk. I don't even think you can say the name because it's like technically not a word, and that's why they outlawed it.
I don't understand. We have generation upon generation of established beautiful names from all different parts of the world, like glorious, beautiful names. Why does everybody now decide that they're going to create something new?
Well, it's establishment versus anti-establishment.
The other thing that I find, do you know the name that just everyone? I can't tell you. Do you know how many people I know who have been born recently with the same name? Every boy I know is called Teddy.
There's a lot of Teddy. His real name's not Teddy, but I've got a nephew who goes by Teddy.
Yeah, it's often not the real name, but everybody is Teddy.
Edward, though,
Olivia,
it's
Edward.
Yeah.
But Edward is a lovely.
Lots of Olivias.
Phrasing it as Edward, I think, is like Edward is a beautiful name. I like Edward, Eddie. But I know so many Teddy.
But it feels like
Teddy,
Edward is
Olivia.
Edward feels like an older man's name. You can maybe grow into becoming Edward, but Teddy is a more playful, feels a bit more modern name.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got Teddy Sheringham as well.
Icon.
Well, okay, I've got some more names for you, though.
Okay, cyanide.
Cyanide's gone.
You shouldn't be banned. Just where I sit on this. Do you agree? I don't think that the government should have the right to tell you what you can call your kid.
Hi, I'm Cyanide Johnson. Nice to meet
But
you.
equally,
Hi,
your parents shouldn't be calling you cyanide.
No, it's question marks, and I agree with you. I'm personally an anarchist, so I think less laws the better. So I don't think we should make any sorts of rules. But I also think that politically I am.
You think we should have anarchy in the UK?
People don't understand the political term anarchism.
You're Sid Vicious.
Anarchism doesn't mean doesn't mean like I'm a fire starter. It just means you're against over centralization and against too many rules.
I think anarchy actually
Less rules,
means,
the better.
I think anarchy does mean what
Total anarchy. Yeah, and like martial law and all this stuff. But anarchism as a political construct
I don't
is not
think
the same.
you are an anarchist.
I am an anarchist, 100%.
It's funny how people see themselves, isn't it?
No, I literally am an anarchist.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. You're not. You want?
Can we get a definition of anarchism?
You want anarchy in the UK?
Political
you want
anarchy.
to completely defund the police. You want no rules.
Not total anarchism. No.
No. Okay. So I am an anarchist. Would suggest that you want no.
But you could be a socialist without being a communist.
Yeah,
Like-
because there's different things. They have different values. How can you be an anarchist? How can you identify it and go, I'm an anarchist? So no police force.
I don't think they have to be the two same things at the
Yeah,
same
that's
time.
exactly the
You can certainly decentralize.
No laws. No
more
anarchy
local.
means no law.
I don't think it means no law. No,
I
it
think
doesn't.
literally the
It's just over the. It's against over.
no.
Policing. and
Anarchy.
over rules.
Anarchy. The word, the definition would literally mean no law, no rules.
Let's get a definition of political anarchism. That's what I said.
I love it. It's just like we can all just do that. Just say, I am a.
Anarchism is a
identify as an
political
anarchist.
philosophy and movement that seeks to abolish all institutions that perpetuate authority, coercion,
So the police.
and hierarchy, primarily targeting the state and capitalism.
Right.
Anarchism advocates for the replacement of the state with stateless societies and voluntary free associations. That's me.
Right. So the first sentence that would mean the abolition of the police. Literally would
Depends
mean
how they perpetuate authority, I guess, and coercion. It says coercion as well.
authority. It's literally that, isn't it?
I'm not, like I said, I'm
I
not
don't
a
believe in the
total
police force.
anarchist.
I don't believe in the police force.
I'm not a total anarchist, but I'd certainly like more anarchy in the system than there is at the moment. I would certainly like less centralized governance, less people making decisions, people very many long distance away.
The point is, you're not an anarchist.
Agree to disagree.
Or agree that I'm right.
Let's go for the next name.
Okay.
Tell me if it's worse or better than cyanide. Actually,
I mean, it's got to
you've
be,
got
it's got to be
choose-
better.
You've got to choose one of these names
Okay.
for a kid. Another name that's been banned, Martian.
What's wrong with people?
People have been calling their kids Martian as a result of caution about ridicule.
I guess you
That's
could
what they got rid
be
of it.
Marty, couldn't you?
They're basically saying we think your kid's going to get bullied with this name, so we're going to not allow that one.
Yeah, I don't think it's the responsibility of the government to tell parents what they can call their children. But equally, if you are calling your child a Martian, you're insane.
This one's interesting because I actually know people with this name. These two names have been refused due to potentially being mistaken for a title, Princess and King.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't make sense. You can't.
I've
you
often
can't.
thought
You
about
can't
that. Could I
insinuate that somebody is something they're not. So I couldn't call my kid Baroness.
Could I call a kid Sir?
Surely not.
You know, and then put an MBE at the end of their name. Just change my surname to.
Yeah.
Michael
No,
Brown,
you
MBE.
can't do that. No,
Well, I just did
you
it,
can't.
mate.
You can't do that.
done.
I understand why. Okay, I don't think there should be. If you want to call your kid Martian, you're an idiot. But do it. But you can't confuse other people because if you call your kid Martian, it's strictly affecting your kid. If you call your kid Baroness, I'm going to assume that she's a Baroness, and therefore.
But like you said, the government shouldn't be able to tell you what you can call your kids.
No, unless
Just
it
a
affects
word.
other people.
Just a word.
Unless it
message.
affects other people.
I think it should be fine, mate. It's all made up anyway. What is a king, realistically? Come on. Just come out of another woman's vagina like us.
Yeah, I don't think that's up for debate. I don't think anybody's ever suggested a king doesn't do that.
So Princess. But I mean, why are they special? Princess, there's actually a footballer, West Ham just sold her, I believe, to, I think it might have been Gotham. Certainly an American.
Gotham?
Yeah, there's a women's team called Gotham. But they've certainly sold a player called Princess. I think Nigerian name, fairly
Yeah,
common.
no, there's.
They
in fact,
do that a lot.
The former president. No, that was Good Luck. His name was
Yeah,
Good Luck.
I don't know if
yeah.
it's just Nigeria or Africa in general, but I've noticed it in football. You see it a lot. These people that have like, I don't know if adjective is even the right word.
Yeah,
but
Good Luck.
They have
The
like
Prime
names.
Minister was called
They're called
Good
like
Luck Jonathan.
brilliance.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah,
called
yeah,
brilliance, or you know, like I kind of like it in a way.
Yeah.
Or like we have our equivalents, like Grace is a name
Grace,
that
yeah.
means is actually
Yeah,
a
yeah,
thing
yeah.
you can be as well or have. But I guess confusing.
I nearly
in
went
some
for
way.
Grace.
Yeah,
Grace,
it was a nice name.
Grace was on my list.
Nice name. A couple of Graces in my little boy's school now.
Yeah, Grace
Yeah.
was on my list. I like it.
Well, those names have been banned. So I know you're thinking about calling your next kid Princess Martian Cyanide at Perth.
Cyanide.
But it's
What's
off.
wrong with people? Isn't it terrible? Like, I don't think the government should be doing that. But I also think it's ludicrous that the government feel like they have to do that because somebody has tried to call their kid cyanide.
If I had to take one of them, I'd call my kid King. I quite like that.
If I had to take one, Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not Martian or cyanide, is it?
No. Well, listen to this though. On the subject of names, this is mad, right? So there's a woman in San Francisco who charges money up to £20,000, no less, to help desperate parents name their babies. How
Brilliant.
mad is this?
No, it's not. It's brilliant.
The person, if you're wondering what their name is, Taylor A. Humphrey, started posting online about a decade ago about her obsession with baby names and has now turned it into a luxurious enterprise. She's helped name more than 100 babies just in 2020 alone, raking in more than £100,000 from cashed up couples. Back then, she charged just £1,000 for the service. It was a bargain if you got in then. Now she has a growing portfolio. Her service is now costing up to $30,000. That includes getting a genealogist to compose a list of names from old parts of the family. I've done that. Like you can go on family, go on Ancestry, you can do it yourself. You don't need to pay 30k. Or even hiring a think tank to discuss options. Even a simple email with name suggestions will cost you £200. That is mental. I used to say to Alex back in the day, my dream job would be naming racehorses.
I'd be good at that.
Like, it's just such a. Again, it's very subjective.
I'd be great at that.
But like, I didn't know you could actually get money for
Dennis
it.
Wise coming up the inside. It would all be a discreet nod to Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, I mean, you get a very specific list of clients there, wouldn't you?
I would love that. But this woman, by the way, it's obviously idiocy. But I have nothing but respect for herself, who has managed to market herself and create an income and be upwardly mobile with literally no skill, selling literally nothing. It's a snake oil salesman.
It is 100%.
And good luck to her. If you can find people dumb enough to give you £30,000 to help them name their kid, only in America.
Yeah, that is the issue, because I've got nothing against her like you. If it's a business, it's a business. But it's who's paying them? Who is paying this lady? Who is that desperate for a name?
Ben Affleck is the kind of guy that would do this.
What do you think they know that you don't? Like, and how do you even judge the success of a name? Like, you don't really know. Like, what makes a good name? Is it a name that you like? Is it a name your friends like? Is it a name that the person you're actually naming likes, which you're not really going to know until they're an adult? If that person then goes on to like do something terrible in their life, does that mean their name was bad? Like, how do you define a name?
It's very important though.
I agree with that. Super.
But
important.
I don't think that this woman is at all qualified to help me name my daughter or my son.
How can she be like? Let's say she had another business, right? That she was, I don't know, selling hot tubs, right? You go, look, I've sold loads of hot tubs. They all work. 10 years later, here's proof that I'm good at making and selling hot tubs. How does she go to people? Yeah, I nailed that one. See,
But that's
look at him. He's now president of the United States.
That's the snake oil, innit?
I just don't see how you proved it was good.
Well, you don't. You just allow it to manifest and for people to believe that it's good, and for people to believe that the service that you're offering, which is actually nothing, is relevant.
How lazy have you
Because
got to
you just
be?
go like this, don't you? You go, I've given this the due diligence that it deserves. We've looked back into your family tree. We've taken into account your star signs. We've really focused in on the aura that you're giving off right at this very moment. We've conducted some sort of weird seance around the bump, and you go,
We're in the roll of dice.
and you go, Vivian. And everyone goes, that's a beautiful name.
£20,000.
You go, right, give me 20 grand, you mug.
Also, it's not like the baby's alive and they can go, oh, look, yeah, the baby's definitely a Clive. Like, it's not. I'm assuming it's before the baby's born.
Someone needs to start having the Clives again.
Yeah, they're dying out name, mate. There's lots of names that are dying.
Gary.
Yeah.
Gary's had it.
Even Gareth.
Gary, there wasn't a single. When you think, I'm a bit older than you, but my life was littered with Garys. Gary and Chris was just about. There was always a Gary, there was always a Chris. Wherever you go to a Northampton Boys Club to play football. There's definitely a Gary, there's definitely a Chris in every five-a-side team.
Is that a good thing, though?
No, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I'm just saying that
Times have changed.
50 years ago, people that were having children of that generation, so 15 to 40 until even 30 years ago, Gary was on the table.
I think we've just been exposed to so many more cultures, names, ideas. We have a lot more mixed culture relationships now. So you've got ideas and inspiration coming from the whole world now. You know, people travel, so they're not just looking around there. Like you said, if you went to only a small area from where you're born and you only heard Garys and Barrys and whatevers, then you're probably going to think about that. Your dad was. My family's littered with Rons. There's a lot of
Ron's great now.
A lot of Ronalds going back, and then before that there was a lot of Archibalds.
Yeah, Archie.
But if I don't think anyone watching this is thinking about paying this lady to come up with a name, obviously. But if you're struggling, there's so many tools out there. Like there's an app, it's a bit like a dating.
You don't need an app.
There's a where I say where the app is good though is if you're doing a joint decision between them, and you don't want to have an argument, you go on this app independently. It's basically like a dating app, and it gives you two names, and you go, I like that one more. I don't like that one. Da, da, da. You do that independently. You do the same thing, but it's serving you the same names. So eventually, it will go right. You've partnered with that person. It goes, these are the 10 names you guys agree on.
But I did that without the app.
Yeah, you don't need that.
That's exactly what we did. Victoria wrote a list of names that she liked for a boy, a name of list that she liked for a girl. I did exactly the same thing. We then highlighted the ones that matched, and then we worked it out from there.
Yeah, nice.
So if ultimately Pandora was born a girl, she was going to be Vivienne, Ienne at the end, not Vivienne, Vivienne, or she was going to be Vivienne or Pandora. If she was a boy, she was going to be Cassius.
Oh, that's the name of my actually my nephew's called Cassian.
Cassian, nice.
But yeah, very close to Cassius.
Yeah. If she was a boy, she was going to be Cassius.
Interesting.
And because that's how we did it. It was like
you both had that name independently.
We both had, yeah. So I did. I don't think I even got to 10 boys' names. I found boys' names very difficult. Girls, I found quite easy. I got to 10 relatively quickly with girls. With boys, I actually struggled. I think it's quite difficult. But names that I liked that chimed with my values.
When you looked at names, would you do a bit of homework on the history of the name and the meaning of the name, or would you just go with purely your own feelings on it?
No, I don't particularly care about what it represents in terms of like the wider consciousness. I just went for names I liked, boys' names I liked. But boys' names that I liked, when I actually tried to do it, it's far harder than I found it far harder than girls. Like I say, girls' names, off the top of my head, I could have easily done it. Pandora, Grace, Vivienne. Like I probably write the list 10 now. Honestly, with boys, I got to about 4, and I was like, "This is tough."
You were just going off your memory, though. You weren't looking at lists.
No, I wasn't really looking at lists. I was going off names that I've heard over the years that resonated with me.
So for me, if you're going to get into this industry and you're going to come after this Taylor A. Humphrey money, you've got to widen your search power. You've got to be looking at historical names of different cultures. You've got to be going on these little rabbit holes, reading different books. Yeah. That's what I'd like to expose myself to. Like, I've got lists on my phone of names that I like.
I just like traditional names that are that have originality.
Yeah, you do like traditional. That's
tradition with originality.
Part of me wants to have like 10 kids just to use some of the names. I don't actually want to then deal with the hassle of the kids, so that quantity is extent. But I would like to name more children.
It's hard, isn't it? Because if you have 2 of the same sex, like we both have had, the difficulty is, obviously, you've given your favourite name to the first one.
Yeah, potentially. Depends.
But you wouldn't have given your second favourite name to the first.
No, but for us, certainly we
other.
have like a list of names we liked, and then we'd go off certain signs and things. We're like, we should go with this name. Like I told you the Fox story, right?
Yeah.
Did I tell you that? I did on the pod before. Yeah. So that's his middle name, my oldest boy. And there's it was a name on a list, but it wasn't probably going to get picked. Yeah. And then something happened on delivery night, and we were like, okay, it's meant to be.
No, do you know? I remember I'm in an hour in between Vivienne and Pandora. And actually, Victoria, when she was like out talking to the anaesthetist, baby was born, I'm like crying, it's all going on. The anaesthetist, who was absolutely amazing, like so brilliant at his job, just brilliant at everything he did, he went, "What's the name?" And it's the first time I ever heard. And then Victoria, I didn't know what she was going to say. Victoria went, "Pandora." And then he went, "The girl with the gifts." And at that point, that's when when you kind of catch yourself like when it hits you, because it's the first time that I'd heard it. It's the first time that I was aware of. It's the first time that I was aware of her name, and like Victoria's spark out really. She's had a huge operation, and I can kind of hear Pandora crying over there. It was that moment when she kind of like the anaesthetist said it, and then Victoria answered without us actually discussing it, like in a finite way. Like we hadn't gone, it's going to be Pandora. We were like...
So she made the final call?
And she kind of made the call on the spot. But the second that I heard her say it out loud, I was just like 100%. Like, also, I was like, you choose now because you've just done... at the time, like prior to it, 3 weeks before at dinner, I'd have gone, no, we come to this together. I'm as valuable in this conversation. And then, when she's like got her tummy cut open and is under anaesthetic, I'm like, yeah, you can probably have the final say here. The only thing that I wanted, because I'm now not going to have a boy. So if I had a boy, I would have had to put a homage to Frank Lampard in there.
Yeah, we did.
But I did it with the... Yeah. But so I was just like... Octavia was also on our list.
Yeah.
Octavia as a first name. I was like, I would be quite open to
Was
Octavia.
she born on the 8th as well?
She was born on the 8th,
mad.
and Frank Lampard obviously number 8.
Not August though. That'd been perfect.
That would have been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's maybe something in as well when you're having daughters. Not that this is a sort of cardinal rule, but the woman maybe is a bit more in charge of that one. Whereas you have boys, maybe you make a bit more of a decision.
Do you know, it's that moment, isn't it? Obviously, you've been through it as well. I've seen the photos of you looking all, like a scene in Scrubs. You suddenly realise what your wife or partner has gone through in that and then on that day, that moment, it's like, okay, I don't, just literally please get well and please make sure that everyone comes out of this room alive and you do anything you want. You deserve every aspect of this. I don't care.
Yeah. No, it's humbling to realise your role in it all in that moment.
That's so insignificant.
And then you get back, once you get back to normal, you forget it all again, don't you? That is the weirdest thing I always find, like within a week or two of having the baby, you're in this sort of glow and you're just like, wow, the world is amazing. Humans are amazing. Women are amazing.
And you're right back to it.
And you're like,
But I know, I agree. That does happen. But do you know what? I just think that bit of it is so amazing because your wife or girlfriend in that moment has gone through something crazy. Like my mate is about to have his gallbladder out. I'm not joking. He's running about. He's like basically made a will. He's taking it really seriously, right? You know what girls go through in that moment? They have a baby. It's so traumatic for them, for their body, for their hormone, for everything. And then someone goes, okay, go home now and look after a baby. It's like, what? It's mental.
Yeah, it's until you do it, you don't really know anything like it, do you?
No.
Okay, so listen, Taylor A. Humphrey. Good luck to you, girl.
I think she's obviously a thief and obviously an idiot, but she's created a niche. She's found
herself
a business
as Taylor. Is not only traditionally a surname, it's also a sort of
shit name,
an option for boys or girls. It's a, what do you call it? Unisex name.
Crap name though.
Well, I mean, if you really believe that, then she'd be the last person. And then again, she didn't name herself, did she? Unless she did, she might any person that's selling names for a living, I think, should have renamed themselves.
No, it's disrespectful to your
Do you not think?
isn't it?
Anyway, we'll never know the answer and how much she's actually doing good work. It's very hard to prove. We've got some dad diaries, but before we get into a dad diary, there's a question I want to ask you, Rory. I think this is something you would have given some thought as well. If you were to own a pub,
do you know?
I can imagine you doing this one.
No, it is my fantasy. You know, when I dream of winning some money playing poker or winning some money on the lottery or whatever else, the two fantasies are delete social media.
Which is so ironic how many of us in this space think that.
Yeah.
Everyone in world.
Delete social media. Like immediately, I'd keep my I've got a private profile where, I put pictures of Clementine or whatever. But delete the Chelsea Rory accounts where everybody calls me names. Get rid. And open a pub. Pub with maybe a nice restaurant upstairs.
What would your pub be called?
Something very traditional. Something just like a proper pub name. The Nag's Head, the Gunmakers.
You wouldn't go original. Again, it links back to the names question.
Do you know what? There used to be a pub in Leicester Square when I was really young that's closed down, and it was called Cockney Pride.
Cockney Pride.
And it was right in the heart of Leicester Square, right by right by where what became the Trocadero. It used to be called the Cockney Pride.
Namco and all that, yeah.
Yeah. And I looked at I think maybe something like that, homage to London, maybe homage to North West London. There was a pub in
Kilburn Pride.
Yeah, there was a pub in Kilburn called the Bird in Hand, which is still there, and it's amazing. When you look through the window, when you look through the window, it's been defunct for well over a decade. But if you look through it, it's a perfect pub. Like, if somebody just went in there with a feather duster, it could be a pub today. Like, you wouldn't want to own it around that way, but I would honestly buy a pub in Marylebone.
And would you run it? Would you be the landlord? You'd be in there serving pints, or you just enjoy it?
I would just enjoy it. I would enjoy it as a customer in the way that James Blunt owns a pub right by Stamford Bridge, in the way that Frank Lampard used to at least own a pub.
Well, I heard James Blunt's pub. I heard
James Blunt's
it's
pub
beautiful.
I've been there. It's literally
beautiful.
It was my pub at Chelsea for years. Incredible little nook pub. There's nothing I love more than like a proper Irish boozer, where they have all those little nooks where you can just go, sit, get incredibly drunk, always have a whiskey chaser, like that kind of thing. And it would be so traditional in there. So traditional. Do you know one thing that I would guarantee? Carpet. That pub carpet.
Red.
I like a flat roof pub. I like a carpet pub. I like a jukebox pub. I like that kind of real traditional pub.
I'll be honest. When I said it's beautiful, I'd never heard of it. I was just making a joke about his song. It's beautiful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought you had heard It's Beautiful.
No.
But no, it went totally over my head, yeah. But it is...
But a great advert for James Blunt's pub.
No, but it is a great pub. It's right by...
The
it's
James
right
Blunt
by,
would be a great name for a pub.
Yeah.
The James Blunt, because obviously that's Cockney rhyme.
I like James Blunt, not necessarily...
No, he's funny.
I don't listen to his music, but he's an
got a bit about it.
intelligent guy, intelligent guy, very funny.
Had a history as well. So, but okay, so you've got a pub. We don't know what it's called. Maybe the Kilburn Pride or...
Yeah, the Cockney Pride,
Something
bird
like
in
that.
hand. Something very traditional.
I want three things that you'd have on tap, but not beer. Like something,
Not beer?
Yeah, like obviously you can have. It's a pub. What would you have on tap for you? Like, what would your go-to?
What, my drinks?
Yeah.
I like Stella as a lager. I like Guinness. I mean, Guinness is what I would drink on a... I'll tell you what I wouldn't have. Any of that Camden crap. Any of that hipster
Like
new...
ale.
No, you know these modern day breweries that are like very
micro
hipster.
breweries.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have any of that.
Camden Ale and all that nonsense. No.
I thought you'd like Camden's.
No, because I don't think it's genuine. I think it's all a bit of a myth.
You just want a good old franchise beer, paying the corporation, keeping the billion.
Yeah, no, I don't necessarily mind local beers. So I would actually quite like that. I would actually quite like that. You know, if there's like, you know, sometimes if you order quite a beautiful cider, they go into the back and it's in the box and all that, and that's made by like a local brewer on a local farm who grows his own apples. No, that I absolutely love, and I would make sure to try and buy as many British.
Yeah.
That I would enhance. But I feel like the Camden pubs, the Camden, what do they call it? There's a Camden beer.
I'm not the guy to ask.
It's Hell's, it's called. No, I wouldn't have that sort of thing.
So you're going a nice lager.
It's got to have a lovely stout.
What
So
else you got coming
I'll go Guinness on stout. There's a really nice beer called Jennings Brewery up in the Lake
Oh,
District.
it's actually called Jennings.
Jennings. If anyone that lives in Cumbria, like around the Lake District area, Jennings is on tap there. It's a very big brewery locally. So I'd try and get some of that in. I'd like the idea of doing it Jeremy Clarkson's way. Do you watch Clarkson's Farm?
I've seen, yeah, he's got his own. Is it
Hawkstone?
Hawkstone, yeah.
But
he's got a side.
his pub is actually amazing. I would adopt a lot of what Jeremy Clarkson has done. Everything in there is
your own
British
farm.
grown. Everything in there is British grown. So what you can't have, for example, if you eat, you can't have ketchup because you cannot make ketchup in England. If you wanted a drink, you cannot have Coca-Cola.
You can't make ketchup in England.
Nobody
do you need?
Nobody has.
What do you need?
Only,
Tomatoes?
only British ingredients. Growing tomatoes in England would be
We do
tricky,
it,
wouldn't it?
We do it. I've got
But-
tomatoes in my fridge right
in,
now.
in a
we grew.
volume, if you
I don't
think,
know.
I don't know, but you can't anyway. In his
mad.
pub, I think he's now looking for somebody who can. So there's a great business opportunity for somebody.
You
that
can definitely make tomatoes in England, grow tomatoes.
Would there be an I don't know enough about the ingredients.
I don't know what else
ketchup.
goes in there, but I think I know from when he had his shop that he had a rule about a certain amount of the produce had to be produced locally, didn't it? If not from his farm, then like
well,
local
everything is
farms.
British
Yeah,
grown
yeah,
as
yeah.
well, which I think you need to kind of enhance that both for hygiene, for freshness, for the local economy.
Yeah, the way the world's going, obviously we're producing less and less in this country, and it's sometimes you're getting food that's
And also the farmers have been so fucked over
Yeah.
that you need to try and do your bit.
So
So
we've got-
I might
we've
go
got-
for a Jeremy Clarkson style pub.
we've got a Guinness,
He's
we've got
the
a
farmer's dog.
Jennings, and then we've got a.
Guinness, a Jennings. Oh mate, could I have a red
Doesn't
wine?
have to be
or is that-
alcohol. Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could be a different type.
No, it would have
Yeah.
to be alcohol. There'll be very few soft drinks on display. No, I'd probably just be a really good lager. I might go for Guy Ritchie. Could I do a deal with Jeremy Clarkson
That's
and Guy
so
Ritchie?
you. So you.
Guy Ritchie's got a beautiful pub just underneath the BT Tower.
Right.
Just
yeah,
underneath
yeah.
the BT Tower. It's gorgeous food, like really lovely food. But the pub itself is incredible. And again, he does all his own lager. It's cool. I forget what it's called.
Lock, stock, and two.
No, it's
smoking
called.
barrels. It works.
Yeah, the pub is great though. So I could do it that way.
Okay.
Just get Guy Ritchie's pub on
It's
tap.
quite a tradition. It sounds great.
Guy Ritchie's booze on tap. Jeremy Clarkson's booze on tap, and Guinness. Perfect.
It's a very celebrity based.
Yeah,
But
Hawkstone
your
is.
kind of celebrity, though, isn't it? It's your kind of person. You're leaning into your personality, and it sounds like a decent pub, to be honest. For me, I mean, I was thinking more like about things that I would want to drink and what would be convenient for me to have on tap. And the first answer is so ridiculous, but I'm literally just giving you insight into my life.
Go on.
What would I want on tap? Well, it's already on tap, and it's water. I drink a lot of water.
So what, you just want like a nice, you want a Brita filter?
I'd like
tap.
a really good
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Yeah, great water. So boring, isn't it? Okay, let's make it a bit more interesting. I mean, I do believe there is no better drink than water. Like, that is the best. And if I could only have one for the rest of my life, obviously that's the one I'd choose. On tap, you want to make it a bit more interesting. Maybe give you some sort of gimmick for the customers. You can maybe have it with some sort of supplement added in. So it comes up the tap with
so you get
Barocca
lime
with Athletic greens,
mate,
or with, I don't actually believe in most of those things.
Mate,
but
your pub is rubbish.
You've got a healthy first option. You put it out. You're getting hydrated, electrolytes, whatever. That's your first option. Then if I'm looking after that, I mean, at the moment it would have to be espresso on tap. Just constant
This
espresso.
is the shittest
Right?
pub ever.
I'm not talking about what's going to sell. I'm talking about what I would drink.
It's very
water.
rare.
It's espresso, and then the third one we're going to go a bit crazy.
Barocca water, some greeny water.
I don't drink.
This is horrific. Your pub is.
If I was gonna have an alcoholic drink, it would be cider for sure, and it would be. I mean, I have spent a lot of time on the fruitier ciders, but a lovely dry apple cider from the West Country. There's a couple that I've had there's one. What's the one I always have when I go to Devon? It's really decent.
Kemp's is a nice cider.
I can't think of the name of it right now.
Kemp's cider is beautiful.
When you go abroad, if you're lucky enough to be in a European country that has cider, Portugal, for example, is good for Somersby's. They love a Somersby over there. That's the one you'll always find. But there's a lot of ciders I like.
Yeah, I rarely drink cider. Like there's a time and a place, but I like those slightly more crisp, slightly more elevated ciders. Where they not on tap, not like one of those nonsense Strongbos on tap. When they have to go when they go into the back room that comes and they have to get it out the box. And for that, Kemp's cider is the move. But my pub has just destroyed your pub.
I feel like people would rather go to your pub.
You go into my pub, right? You've got the traditional carpet. You've got a dartboard. It's a flat roof boozer. It's an actual boozer pub. As traditional, it's like walking into 1980, right? That's what this pub is. On tap, you've got Hawkstone, Jeremy Clarkson. You've got Guy Ritchie's Law, Lore. It's like these restaurants called
Planet
the Law
Hollywood for pubs.
No, but it's not. They make good. And then you've got Guinness. 3 drinks on tap. And I'll tell you what you can have. The only soft drink available, because it's the only one I really like. You can have a soda and lime.
I tell you what, your pub undoubtedly.
No drink, no pint will cost more than £5 either.
That's amazing.
Do you know my pub? Do you know my account? Do you follow my account?
Oh, what?
London pubs under a £5.
Is that actually yours?
Yeah.
You run that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Go and follow that. If you want a good drink in London, I've got an account on Instagram where you can find only pints for under a £5. It's called London Pints Under a £5.
That's very good, and that's very rare as well, I imagine. Fair play to anyone in London who's keeping those prices up. I would say if you go to your pub, you go to the Kilburn Pride or whatever it's called, someone's going to have a good time, can have a couple of drinks with the lads. It's going to be lively. But the difference, I'd say the only USP I have over yours, I haven't thought of a name, any of that stuff that comes later, I'll Taylor to help me with the name, is you're going to leave mine healthier and you're going to leave yours less healthy.
Nobody goes to yours, mate. Nobody.
Well, these days, mate, you say that. Younger age groups are drinking less alcohol than ever before.
That Gen Z.
People caring about longevity. Maybe that's what my pub could be called, the longevity.
Oh, but can
you come in and you have a nice time. You have a chat with the guys. No one gets rowdy. You maybe have a game of chess. And you leave.
Have you seen this
healthy.
craze?
And guess what? You can drive home.
Do you know what you can drive home from my pub? Do you know what you could do? Have you seen this craze of like raves happening in cafes, for example? I saw Peggy Goo. Peggy Goo was DJing like in some French cafe where people were like having their morning croissant. Your pub would actually lend itself massively to that hipster craze of healthy raving. Here's
something I'll put a bit out there. This is where you're going to get out of your comfort zone. And I'm not going to come down any sort of argument here, but I'm just going to theorize about the future. If you play out the current rhetoric in society and the sort of cultural movements, right? Imagine this. Not only could we see the birth of, more sort of sober pubs, sober...
Does it exist yet? Is there such a thing as a sober pub?
There will be. It will be. Non-alcoholic alcohol is obviously through the roof right now. Like, in terms of sales figures, massive. You've got the advent of things like CBD drinks and these alternatives. What are they called? Nootropics? When you're drinking things that are kind of having a mental stimulation but not alcoholic. What about if the next movement away from like sober pubs towards this cultural thing is like psychedelic pubs, where it gets legalized and people go there and they have some sort of psychedelic experience? That, I reckon, give it 20 years, that'll be a thing.
This is you on your...
20 years.
Anahuasca or whatever it's called, isn't it?
Or ayahuasca.
Yeah,
no, I mean, that's heavy. But I'm thinking like a world, like, you go to Amsterdam, obviously that's a very specific place, but they have certain things that are legal there. I think the world is going in that direction. I don't even know where I know America's a bit ahead of us on that, but I think the UK, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying...
Just go to the pub with your mates, have one too many, go home, and live your life. You don't need to
Nothing
be
has
licking
ever
frogs or
gone
whatever.
wrong with people doing
You
that.
don't need to be licking frogs, man.
No,
Opening up your third eye. You don't need to be doing it.
mate, you got to get a third eye out for the lads every now and then.
You definitely don't. But my pub undoubtedly beats you. There's no way that anybody doesn't like carpets, flat roofs, booze.
I mean, there's definitely a way people don't like that. I'm not sure I like it.
proper boozer.
I think what I like
What's
about
your
myself,
favourite pub in London?
I can do both. Like I'm from that era where I can go and enjoy all those things and have a night with the boys, but I'm also of a mindset that is very forward thinking and happy to do the alternative. And I feel like I'm not saying that's wrong, but I feel like you're not. You're very much in your ways, aren't you? You know what you like.
I like the most. They're very difficult to find now, but I like a traditional pub. Like, have you seen this craze of people queuing up at the bar?
What do you mean, a craze?
Yeah, there's a thing where young people, you know, when you go to the bar, don't you?
Yeah.
Just go and stand at the bar, try and get someone's attention. There is now this thing where people form orderly queues at the bar rather than going to the bar. And
I mean, that's another thing as to why I'm not massively bothered about not going to bars and pubs and stuff anymore. It's just, especially in London, they're just so busy. They're just so busy.
Yeah.
You spend 10 minutes in the queue waiting to get served.
Well, if you queue, what you should have.
Still might be waiting. It might not be possible to get to the front of the bar.
Yeah, I think that they're few and far between, but there are still some really good boozers in London.
Some people will have a different take on this, like what makes a good boozer. Because some people will go, I want it to be busy and lively. Some people will go, I've got a spot, you know, it's not that busy, it's nice. You can actually chat to each other.
What you want is a busy. What you want is a busy pub with a nook that's yours.
I think
which is what if I created my own pub, there would be a nook that only I was allowed in.
But what about if you got you're a regular?
Do you know in
what
Devonshire?
about if you've got a little app? QR code.
There would be no apps at my fucking
because they
pub.
bring the pints to you. What about those ones that have the draft on the table? You can serve yourself. Mate, it saves so much time in queuing time.
Stop it. Like,
that's a good innovation.
Mate, think about pubs in the West End. There are a number of good pubs in the West End.
Mate, you come to my pub, you can pour your own Barocca from your seat. The convenience is unreal. You have so much vitamin C.
My pub will be in the
pores.
West End. My pub could easily be in Fitzrovia. Your pub could only be in Shoreditch.
Yeah, I was thinking Shoreditch, to be fair.
Your pub could only be in Shoreditch.
You could go down well there.
And basically, anyone with anything about them avoids Shoreditch like the plague.
I love Shoreditch.
Dump.
We're so different, you and I.
Full of pricks.
Wow, I mean that. Okie dokie. Let's do a dad diary and get the heck out of here. Dad diary. Subject, I love you. That is
I
the
love
subject. And it says, hello, Spen, Doggy Dog and Rory. They're the exact words. I'm reading them verbatim. I love the pod and have been here since day one. I know Rory's daughter doesn't like to say I love you to people. And I just want to say that I've never said I love you to my mum. This is interesting because that's the subject of the email. I've never said I love you to my mum until I was about 14 years old. And it wasn't even that I didn't say it. I would say, I don't love you. I only love my dad.
Oof.
All the time. My mum would say to me, I don't care, I love you anyway. I think because she never forced me to say it when I finally did, it meant so much more. I'm now 24 and I say I love you every time I see or speak to my mum. Don't go changing. First of all, it's a nice email in a way. It breaks my heart that he used to say that to his mum though. I think that's horrible. Like we've all had a hissy fit and gone like, oh, I hate you to our parents or whatever and like all that. But it sounds like, and I could be wrong here, but it sounds like he's sort of saying he regularly was saying like he doesn't love you, I only love my dad to his mum, which is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's sad. But her reaction is perfect.
Oh yeah.
She handled that so well. That's fine. I love you loads.
Wow. Isn't it, aren't kids so fascinating the way, like, because that's one of my sort of big fears.
It can be so hurtful.
I know, they are, it's inevitable, because I was like it as well, to be honest. It is inevitable that at some point my kids are not going to like me.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Like, you know, that moment, I've had it very recently with Clementine, like the little girl that used to like clench my hand can sometimes now look at me with like utter disdain. Like if I try and give her a kiss as she goes into school, like the reaction is just like total.
Right now I give my little boy a kiss and he lets me and he's happy with it. I don't know how long.
Give it a year.
Yeah, mate.
Give it.
It's almost another reason to have another kid.
She goes,
just to get
it's
that back.
embarrassing.
I think you got to.
It's not embarrassing.
You got to teach them. It's not, mate.
No, but if she finds it embarrassing, it's embarrassing, isn't it? If she's trying to cultivate an image at school, if she's trying to be friends maybe with the kids in the year above, and then I'm going, you know,
isn't it a shame? I mean, I completely relate. I can remember being that kid. I can remember that feeling, and I'm not taken away from it at all. But it's just the journey. Human beings are just incredible, man. The journey we go on is incredible because I'm sitting here now, decades later, thinking, oh, it's such a shame that my kids feel that way. Like, again, not to be preaching, say everyone's got to have kids or whatever, but like to stop and sense the full journey you've gone on as a human. And not that we're finished, we're hopefully only halfway through our lives, right? But like, I can now join the dots between having that feeling of, oh my God, Mom, don't do this to me, to now being the person that wants to do that to their kid. Like, that is such a full kind of 180.
Yeah. Although I suppose what you have to do, and I think this fellow's mum dealt with it incredibly well. Like, I have to rationalise it by going, Clementine doesn't say it. I go, I love you. She goes, okay. Like, that's her response all the time. You know, at night I give her.
Does she say it to Victoria?
Occasionally, but she's very guarded about saying it. It's just something I can't really explain why. We've always lavished her with love.
You got a great vocab, you know that.
That's very kind of you.
What do you put that down to? Do you read a lot?
Reading, maybe. Yeah.
Because I studied English lit and I don't have a vocab as good as you.
Maybe that's very generous.
I don't think that is even a good sentence I just came up with then.
No, you're very kind. But I just have to believe that she does love me. I kind of know she does. I know she does. But yeah, I would obviously prefer it if she would say it at bedtime when I tuck her in and give her a kiss good night and say I love you. If she would reciprocate rather than going okay. But equally, she's 6 years old, man. She's finding her way. She's finding what she's comfortable with.
Well, I can remember being an adult, like even with Alex, when we used to go to bed pre-kids, and she'd say I love you. And if I didn't say I love you back, it wouldn't be like a choice to not say it back. It would be like, I didn't think I had to. I'm going to bed. I'm trying to sleep here. I had to be educated that, like, because I didn't care if she said it at that point in time. So my brain, very selfish way of looking at it, was like, so it doesn't matter if I say it back. But to Alex, it is almost like a ritual.
Yeah.
You know, you say it and
that's
it's
what
it
is for me. It's habitual. Like it's habitual. It's like, good night, love you. It's like a
It really
phrase.
comes from, and maybe you see it differently, but I'd say it comes from this thing is that if this is the last time I see you, if something happens, I need you to know I love you. That's what I think it is. Like, make sure it's said and not unsaid.
I think it's more of a, maybe subconsciously it's that because that's very dramatic, and maybe subconsciously it's that. I think more it's just the reassurance.
You are loved.
It's just the reassurance.
But also, like, I like to think people would know you love them for our actions and not need the words, but sometimes people need the words. Some people need, again, in that example I just gave then, I don't know enough about this, but I know there's this thing called love languages, right? And people are either physical or verbal, whatever it is. So like, Alex wants that reinforcement. She wants to be told, whereas I don't need it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I know it about people. I know that person loves me. But everyone's different, right? The thing I always think of is like, if I'm on a plane and there's a bit of turbulence, and you have that little moment where you're like, oh, if I was to go down in flames right now and die, how would everyone feel about me? How would they think I feel about them? Yeah. And that's where I sometimes think, what was the last thing I said to my mum? What was the last thing I said to my dad? Or anyone? Like, so I guess that's a good lesson, isn't it?
I think there's also, you touched on it there, though. I think that there's, saying I love you is actually the easiest thing to do. Demonstrating that love is far more significant. Yeah. And if you're not the kind of person that says it on a regular basis, your actions could well outlive the words.
And we've heard from people in dad diaries before about, you know, people that had dads that they basically never knew how their dads really felt about them until he read the diary and things like that. And I was thinking this just last night. I've been working a lot recently, even by my standards, right? Long hours, you know, basically not a couple of days I haven't even seen my kids, which I don't like. And it's not, but what's interesting, right, is like, so let's say I'm busy and I know I'm going to be busy for hours and the kids have come home. My office is next to the lounge. I hear everything. They're coming in the door. It's no. And the moment I'm annoyed because I'm like, there's no respect for my privacy. If this office was in another place, you wouldn't be able to come in. You shouldn't be able to do it now. But what's so ironic about the whole thing is the reason I want to be left alone and focused because I want to work hard for the family to get them. I'm not doing it for self-motivation reasons like I was 10 years ago.
It's about them.
But in the moment, I might be going, oi, stay out of my office. Yeah. He's not seeing me portray love to him, but I'm not trying to work in my way of loving. So it's probably not right the way I'm handling that in that situation. But in the moment, it's very hard for me to be like, hello, just to let you know, my son, I do love you very much. Would you please close the door? I need to work on this for our family. Yeah. You're just not... I'm not.
Mate, I'm doing some serious work here, and you're going to benefit from this when we go on holiday. So just back off.
Yeah.
But no, it's a very, you know, it's probably something that it's a great dad diary, and it's a shame that we're kind of tackling it at the end because this conversation is something maybe we should pick up on it next week and kind of go into it.
Well, I'm very glad
because it's a deep topic, isn't it? Saying I love you, reinforcing the word I love you, demonstrating it if you don't say it. I think it's something that we should really explore at the beginning of a podcast.
It's more one of those things, I think, where you could easily think it's not important because it's just a throwaway comment and actually I need to go and do this work. That's important. But actually, is it one of the most important things? Because it's how people know how you feel about them. And we're talking about close, personal, family relationships here.
But again, it is the easiest thing to do is go, I love you. what are you doing to demonstrate? You know,
One could argue that saying it 5 times a day to the same person is devaluing the phrase as well. But we'll pick that up another day. But I did enjoy that dad diary. I don't know the person's name, but I'm very glad you're now telling.
Let's actually start next week with that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're telling your mum I love you. And anyway, that's important. Anyway, should we call it a day, mate?
We should. Emotional.
Thanks for watching.
Your pub sounds terrible.
Cracker. Well, let us know in the comments what pub you'd rather go to. The Kilburn Pride or the Longevity Station. See you next time. Bye-bye.